Ciao ragazzi, CP here, and welcome along to another episode of JuveTalk. I've got my great buddy here, Andrea, with me. We're going to have a little look at the news and we're going to chat. And, you know, maybe we've got some opinions, maybe we don't, maybe we agree, maybe we don't. Let's see how we go.
Hopefully
not.
Well, how boring it is. How boring it is when people agree.
Absolutely. So what can I say? How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. Excited, but it's been a couple of weeks already. No, fortunately we got our 2 games, let's say 3 games, end of the season vaccine. Then Mr. Allegri came back. Then big movements around Juventus, and that's very, very exciting. Way more exciting than the past season, at least.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of excitement around the Allegri Mercato this year, and what's he going to do? Who are his favorite players? Who's he going to keep? Who's he going to get rid of? Who's he going to sign? To jump right into it, like we have some polemics. Obviously, it seems Baronio was talking a bit on social media after he left Juventus. I'm going to share the screen there now with people. Controversial story on Instagram. Instead, posting the image of Marcelo Bielsa's book, he wrote 3 simple words based on values: a dig at the property, but it's not the only one. After the official statement in which Juventus said goodbye to Pirlo, the former Lazio wrote on Instagram, "Proud by your side, head always held high, proud to have shared this experience with the maestro, even if it did not end as they both had hoped, with a reconfirmation." Even harder was Baronio's son, who controversially commented on the decision to exonerate Pirlo by using a clown emoji. I don't know how controversial that is. What do you think?
I mean, it's controversial for the same reason that we always say when these kind of articles come out, Colin, because in general, the press system around Juventus does that every time. Ciao, Mr. T.
That's a very big burger you have there, Mr. T.
I like
where did you get that? I'd love to see you eat that just for the entertainment.
As a challenge. Wow.
Mr. Bivash says great content. That's lovely. Anyway, sorry.
No, Mr. T Burger totally brought me away from my argument. But yeah, the thing is what the press system always does for Juventus. So they go look for any kind of how can I say, a misunderstanding or misinterpretation that they can create. Said that for sure there is a little bit of bitterness inside Baronio's mouth, like in Pirlo's mouth, and all the stuff, because I think they were hoping to be given another chance, no? Seeing that they qualified for the Champions League and won the Coppa Italia, but unfortunately it was not possible because we cannot afford to wait another year. That's too big of a risk. So I think Baronio should stay calm. No, that's already our motto. And
it's not a good look.
Keep going. It might be arrivederci. It might be that we meet again.
But so you don't ruin yourself.
Yes. Also because they're only waiting for you to say something. To create a whole tale, a whole story around it.
What was I going to say? Mr. T asks, am I Irish? Yeah, I am indeed. I'm living in Dublin. Long time Juventus fan. So yeah, whereabouts you from yourself? I'm guessing that's not you in the photo, because later on here you're saying I wish it was me and my burger. Not everyone could be a legend. Okay, it's very nice. What was I going to say? Famaxi is here. Ciao, guys. Hummus Sampita, how are you doing? What was I going to say? Damien says, nice shirts. They are nice shirts. Thank you very much. Particularly Andrea's one in the background. What's the story behind that, buddy?
Grande Enzo Maresca, one of my favorite in the collection. This one, for me, my personal memory, of course, like I think 99% of Juventus supporters, is that derby with Torino where Maresca scored the 2-2 goal, and celebrated like Ferrantes, that at the time was Torino's captain. And the whole Torino team almost killed Maresca. He had to escape inside the locker room at the end of the game. So that's my memory with for this beautiful jersey, for this beautiful shirt.
Famaxi Mosakaxi, one of my new favorite usernames online, says ciao, and I can't understand the rest of it.
Massimiliano Maxi is asking what did he do to deserve my, because I just called him Grande. First of all, the nickname, that's what immediately made me fall in love with you, because I like creativity, and I feel your nickname is very creative, and because 99.9% of the time you comment on my good friend Colin's channel, I agree with you, Maxi. We are on the same line. So I consider myself grande. So as a consequence, you are a grande too.
Yes. He says, forget the Italian media. They're a bunch of crap.
You see?
Yeah. Like it's fun to kind of, make fun of them sometimes. Like some of the stuff that you read is really not worth it. Steven says, hope you're doing well. Nice to see you, Steve. How are you getting on? Omar, it's Omar El Toro Enzo Maresca. Beautiful. How long are we going to live stream? We'll probably be here for an hour. We'll get through a lot of stuff. Don't worry about that. And with that, we're going to move on. Loads of links from Miralem Pjanic today. Our links are kind of talk, or, I'm not even going to call them links. They're not really links, but people are talking. Apparently, the root of it, and I covered it in the video earlier on, is Mehdi Benatia. He made some comments somewhere saying, has your daddy called you yet? As in Allegri, has he called him yet? What do you think? Would you be interested?
I mean, if I gotta think to Pjanic right before he left, and Arthur until the first Atalanta game when he actually got injured at the 20 minutes, I thought we were winning on the deal, on the sub between Pjanic and Arthur. Then you know how the season went, so I don't think it was only a problem for Arthur, but in general the team kind of lost the character. I don't know if I would like to have Pjanic back, because there is a reason if he was not playing with Barcelona. I mean, Pjanic is not the Pjanic anymore. But it might be that he wants to come back as a help, because he's in love with Juventus, so he's probably also planning a potential future career in Juventus. Like Buffon came back mainly for this reason, If he come back with that mindset, he stays in the bench and he just jump in during the last 30 minutes of a Champions League game, he can make the difference. Pjanic is Pjanic.
I agree. His technical ability is very good. I do remember his form being very, patchy for the last couple of years that he played. He seemed to, especially when Ronaldo was there, because he just couldn't take any free kicks or anything like that. It was painful to watch because you just knew by his face that he wasn't happy with.
A little out, no? A little out of the dynamic.
Yeah, and that's what I'd be afraid of. Plus, it kind of holds up the rejuvenation, and also if he comes back, he's not going to be a cheap deal. He's going to be an expensive deal in terms of wages. So unless he took a cut, but players don't really take cuts. That never happens.
I believe Pjanic is actually in love with Juventus. I think he would do that, Colin. You remember?
Okay.
Have you watched the TV show First Team?
Ciao, Ronnie. First Team, yes. First Team Juventus, yeah.
Like Pjanic relationship with Juventus was one of the things that most impressed me on the TV show. I mean, playing with his son, about being Buffon, another player with him. Look, those are small details, but make a lot of difference, man. I want to see if Douglas Costa would do the same. To take an example, I mean, not because Douglas Costa is a bad guy, but I'm talking about the how involved you are with the team you're playing for, and Pjanic is definitely part of the family. That's a good start, point of start. And I'm gonna add only something else, Colin. I don't want to go too long. You know what's the priority for Allegri, because he said that many times. He repeated himself many times. What it really matters in football is the technique skills and the smartness. I mean, how clever a player is. Pjanic has a great technique skills, and he's a smart player. So it is possible. I'm not saying it would be my first choice, but it is possible if, as anybody else, if he comes back wearing Juventus jersey, Forza Pjanic, I'm always with him.
Yeah. Mirko Di Natale today on Twitter, he said there's been no official contact between Barcelona and Juventus for Pjanic yet. That's what he said, yet. So we don't know what's going to happen. Going to respond to Mr. T here. He's living in the Balkans, he's from the Balkans, living in Sweden. He just found my channel, but you're very welcome, buddy. You're very, very welcome. Keep coming back.
Later, keep better coming back.
Yeah, exactly. Famaxi's coming in here. He says, thanks very much for the comments. It could be that soon we can speak on Twitch, as Colin said to me today. Yes, I did. Looking to get Famaxi Mosakaxi on the show. I like how he operates. He says, better Pjanic stay where he is. I wanted to get rid of him 3 years ago. Never mind having him back. I kind of agree with you. I agree with you there.
Yeah. I agree. Unfortunately, I agree.
It better he stays where he is.
Not 3 years ago. Not 3 years ago, but 2 years ago, yes. 2 years ago.
Yeah. Tomorrow is the meeting between Allegri and Yeli. What do we think? We're about to get on to Allegri Mercato now pretty soon. Actually, we'll jump onto it now. I mean, what do you think his priorities are going to be in the Mercato?
Sorry to interrupt you.
No. I mean, what part of the field or who or what do you think Allegri's looking for?
Yeah, guys, we need of course, then it depends also who's going to leave. But I think we need a center back for sure, a left center back. We need the important player in the midfield that we've been talking about for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
we missed that kind of player since Pogba left. We had a great Blaise Matuidi that I will always love with all my heart. But of course, I mean, beside the physical skills and the heart running until the end, like it should be for a Juventus player, Matuidi never reached the level of Pogba. But I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Since Pogba left, we missed the big player in the midfield that I believe could change the trend of the rest of the players we have in that position. You know, they just need a leader.
Yes, I agree, and that kind of gets me onto another point I'm going to come into afterwards. But you mentioned the midfield, and you know everybody's been talking about Locatelli, I think, for most of the season. So, I mean, what do you think? The word is 40 million for him. I know Sassuolo, they are a selling club, so of course they're going to look for as much money as they can get. They probably know Juventus are desperately in need of a player, you know, of his type. Like, what do you think? Do you think he's a good buy at 40 million, or what would you be willing to?
I think it will be a good sign. 40 million. I understand why they're asking 40 millions, because that's the game of the market. The thing, the point is, you need to get to Locatelli before that. And the thing is that sometimes the risk is that you have Locatellis, like let's call it Locatellis, in your roster, and you don't actually give them the chance to grow and take responsibility. So, you know, that's a double problem actually behind the 40 millions for Locatelli. If you get to Locatelli now, you need to spend that amount of money, like you did for Vidal, pretty much, because that's and nobody knew Vidal really. I mean,
came from Leverkusen.
Came from Leverkusen, but I mean, you know,
nobody knew him. You're right.
Player, but nobody was expecting to be a crack like he actually was. But do you think without Pirlo, Pogba, Vidal, without Pirlo and Marchisio, do you think they would have grown the same that they actually did? That's why I'm saying we miss the character in the midfield. We miss that kind of players.
I agree with you. We need a unit. Like, there needs to be a unit of guys as well. So, I mean, that kind of brings us on to, I mean, who would you keep out of the midfielders that we have? I mean, we have, you know, I mean, Arthur. We paid a lot of money for Arthur. You know, I personally don't. You would keep him?
Yeah. Not because he did a great season, Colin. But for sure, I was impressed with him until I mean, he was starting his story with us. But I was impressed at the beginning until the game with Atalanta, where they basically killed him. He got injured, and we didn't even get a fall for that. You know. After that, unfortunately, you know, it's kind of hard to come back from an injury, and at the same time, the team had the crazy moment that we witnessed it. So I will give Arthur another chance. Yes, because we paid a lot of money, and yes, because I believe it can be helpful, guys. I think. And a lot of people is gonna yell at me right now, including my father. But I will keep Bentancur too, because I know Allegri can make Bentancur a great player.
Yes, this is a thought that I've had, and you know, I'm going to get to some comments in a sec. That's the thought I've had. I've looked at the midfielders who've underperformed and some who've performed really badly this year. And I thought, what could Allegri do with them that maybe hasn't been done this year? We've looked at Rabiot in particular. He's had really, really strong games, and then he's had very weak games. And then he gets up again, and then he finished the season quite strong, actually.
Quite strong,
yeah, but lacked the consistency. And the same definitely could have been said for Artur. The same again for Bentancur. Finished it well. Arthur didn't finish the season strongly. Bentancur did. I felt. I felt he had two of his best games in the last two games he played. But so I think Allegri has got something to work with. He just needs to. I think he definitely needs that regista. He needs the director behind the two Mezzali, and maybe he's got something then. So I was going to say
probably that's why if it's true about Pjanic, that's why they're thinking about Pjanic, because if they keep Arthur, you need if you have that role, you need a substitution.
Yeah,
not because you're always gonna play with the role, but I mean, we if we want to guess, like, let's say 3 formations in mind, you need to have a change, a substitution in case of something goes wrong. Not because you want to play always that way, but you might need to play that way, and in that case, you need the players to do so.
That's the thing. For Maxi coming in here, he's talking about Pjanic. He says, leave it to the last minute. And if it's going to be done, let it be done on Juve's terms, with Barcelona to pay most of his wages. I like that. I like that. Mr. T here, he's saying, Pjanic is my countryman, but unfortunately, he's been past it for at least 2 to 3 years. No thanks for a return. Yeah, I kind of agree. It depends on his motivation. As I said, the last couple of years were bad. For Maxi saying, just think Juve playing 4-2-3-1 with Pogba and Rabiot in the midfield. We will have a wall there.
Ciao for everybody at the point,
Yeah. I really don't know what shape he's going to play. If my instincts tell me Allegri would always like to have at least 2 formations available to him at once, but he probably will start slowly and just have one for a while.
The thing I'm very sure about, and that's probably why I think we're gonna keep Rabiot also, is because Allegri is focused on working on the players more than on the tactics. And Rabiot is the perfect example of what you can achieve working on the player, with strategies depending on who the player is, how his mind is thinking, what kind of character he has, what's the physical. I mean, now I'm making it simple. I'm kind of making an extremization, but that's the concept, no? More than
exactly.
the tactic, only the tactic. The tactic is a little organization, a little planning that we have for any situation that we're gonna face in the game. But the thing is, my players has to be ready for any kind of situation. Another example by Allegro is the passes. Like, you cannot say a player is good with passes, because it depends. Every passes is different, So it depends what position you put it. You place him, because you see when Chiesa plays in the left side or in the right side, you gotta stop with one foot and pass it with another. There is more situation in which you're looking at the goal from another perspective, so you touch in a different way. The ball can bounce in a different. this is not basketball, and that's why soccer is beautiful. Football is amazing because there are a lot of variation that you cannot even count or consider or program before. You cannot plan this kind of stuff. So you need to work on the player to make sure they have the famous technique skills that we were talking about, and to be smart to know when is one touch and pass it, when I need to protect it and hold the ball with me, and when we need to attack, defend. I mean, that's Max. That's why I'm with Maxi Allegri, and I think that's the best choice, because that's what we need to work on. That's what we need to work on.
Yeah. D10 Bianconeri, ciao D10, how are you? We need creativity to make up and push forward. Because to help also the forwards,
Yes. Imprevedibility. How do you say that? to be not predictable.
Unpredictable, yeah.
Unpredictability. I cannot say that.
Absolutely. No, you're grand. I understand you. Mr. T, do you think it will be an issue for next season that we didn't send Arthur for surgery? It depends on the problem. Like we've been told it's a calcification. I don't know I don't know why he'd need surgery for that. So
the thing with Arthur, for what I knew, is that the pain would not go away. So during the season, they didn't want to go under surgery, because it might be something that he actually disappear. If they didn't do it right now, I want to believe that there are two cases. One is Arthur is sold and he already agreed with his next team on not operating the problem. Or the other option, the other case is that he doesn't feel pain anymore. So at the point, there's no need for the surgery.
For the surgery, yeah. Also, Copa America is coming up, so also, he might be. Yeah, he might be trying to hold out for Brazil. But it remains to be seen if he'd even get into that squad.
Yeah, exactly, correct.
D10 Bianconeri, do you think Paulo Dybala will stay and be the center of the project? We know D10 likes Dybala; it's in his avatar. But what do you think?
Well, I know. I wouldn't keep him, but I believe it's very possible, because I think Allegri. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm always talking about Allegri, but to me,
no, it's the perfect topic at the moment. Actually, you're grand.
I also believe it's the key role in all this big mess that we're looking at. No, it's the key role. It's right now. If he works like I think he can be a solution that put the team in the right direction, including Dybala, because I agree when he says that we need creativity, no?
Yeah.
Dybala is the most creative player we have in the roster right now. So as long as he fix his problems, characterial problem, I don't know if D10 ever played football, but whoever played football at least once in his life know that the locker room is a very, very delicate ambient, and sometimes there are behavior that can create different groups. When the team split up, it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem because we don't play for the same goal anymore. We don't lose together. We don't win together anymore, and that's a problem. That's a big problem, because they start to lose. They start to be not attached to the team anymore, and that's pretty much what look like this season. I don't want to say that's the reason, but Dybala was kind of upset for the whole time, and it's been with us. I mean, it's an important player in the
Yes.
locker.
I agree. I mean, there were a lot of rumors coming out there over the last couple of months, really, that things weren't exactly perfect in the locker room. Also rumors that there was a bit of a division between Baronio, Pirlo, and Tudor as well. These are all problems that will sink your season. Even one of those problems could sink your season. Like so. I don't blame Juventus if that sort of thing happened and I was in power at Juventus and it was me, I would say we need to get rid of these guys. Just a lot of them gone. We need to get rid of them, because I'm not necessarily talking about the players, but also if there's a division in the staff, you just can't have that. Like that's going to ruin the club. Like so,
the teamwork. That's a teamwork. If there's no team effort, there's no way to win. Actually, we achieved way more than I was expecting at the end.
Ooh, what was I going to say? There's a topic coming up here now. Hummus and Pita is saying Min Kim Jae, South Korean centre back, has already signed for Juve. He's 24 and apparently a real talent. I've never heard of him. How about you guys? I've seen a couple of stories online, but let me tell you this: until I hear Fabrizio Romano, Romeo Agresti, or the main news sources going with it, I tend to reserve. Like I looked at that last night and this morning, and I decided not to talk about it because if it's not confirmed in my, especially in the transfer season, you're going to get rumors about all sorts. Now, I could be wrong. This guy could be in Torino sitting down having a cappuccino in the morning after doing his medical going, how are you getting on? It's a beautiful day, but I don't know. I haven't seen him. Have you seen him?
No, I was reading about him right now, but welcome to Juventus. Hopefully he's gonna make an impact like McKennie did last season.
I've seen photos and he looks big.
When I talk about impact, and last season, it's always the first part of the season. No positive impact on the second one, unfortunately.
D10 says he's sure Allegri will use a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3 system. Yeah, 4-2-3-1 usually turns into 4-2-3 in the attacking phase. But when I cast my mind back, I think of when Allegri took over and we were still playing 3-5-2, and he kept the 3-5-2 for the first half of the season and kept it going, actually, and then gradually introduced another formation. That's one of the things I like about him. He says he's going to use them at the same time. Yeah, he definitely will. That's one of his trademarks, the whistle from the sideline.
With Allegri, you can start the game with a 4-4-2, then you pass to 3-5-2, and then you finish it in 4-2-3-1. That's what I like about him. It depends what we need. It depends on the opponent that we're gonna face. That is gonna be our strategy.
Famaxi is coming in here. He says Italian teams in this modern football have problems in Europe because of the tactics that is overused by Italian managers. I agree, and Allegri is one of the people that says this the loudest. I know we're talking about Allegri, but he said this so many times that the tactics are, it's talked about way too much in Italy. It's not the same elsewhere. I don't want to compare with England or Spain, but but there's certainly more tactics in Italian football than there is in Spain and England. I'm not going to say it's better or worse, but what do you think?
I think the tactic is very important, but and I don't think Allegri is against the tactic, but the misunderstanding here, the misconcept, is thinking that the tactic is going to make you win the game. That could happen 20 years ago, 25 years ago, but not right now, because right now we've seen them all already. We've seen them all, so any team is going to be able to plan a counter strategy against your tactic and your roster, your formation. That's for sure. So what's really important is to prepare during the season, to be ready, depending on who you're facing, because that's the tactic that you need to really be ready for. Like right now, we're suffering the other team attacking, so we're gonna pass on a tighter defense compared to when it's actually our turn, and that's what means reading the game. So tactics are important, but it's true what Famaxi and Moso Caxi is saying. Italian teams, unfortunately, have been mistaken for many years, thinking that tactic by itself could bring you winning everything, and that's not the case. That's not the case.
Yeah, you can't just plan your way out of things. You have to do it. Like, you have to have a good attitude. I want to talk about Ronaldo for a bit. How do you think? Everybody? It's on the tip of everybody's tongue now at the moment. The other day, Ronaldo's partner Georgina Rodriguez, she was at a set of her upcoming show it's a Netflix show about her life. And someone asked her a question, is he going to go? Is he going to stay? And she said he stays, And to me, that seemed kind of, what else is she going to say? But also, like, he made a statement on his Instagram saying it looked like it's not over yet. Yeah, he said that. Yeah, he did. So, I mean, how do you think he gets on with Allegri? I'm kind of referring back to the Sky Calcio interview.
I don't think Allegri is planning to keep Ronaldo, but at the same time, what I think, no? It's up to Ronaldo. It's always up to Ronaldo. If Ronaldo wants to stay, Ronaldo stays. I think Allegri believes that having Ronaldo, the young players that don't get to grow, to become real players.
Yeah.
Also because they're Ronaldo, who fix their problems in any situation. That's a comfort zone.
Yes. I'm particularly referring to Bivash, his comment here. He says he's a big fan of Cristiano. And I just want to ask him in particular, would he like Ronaldo to stay with Juventus, or would he prefer Ronaldo to move on? Because, I've got my perspective, but I want to hear what you guys think as well. So
Cristiano, I mean, if you love soccer, how can you say no to Cristiano? The thing is, we need to find a way to build a team at the point, the place for Cristiano that can enhance Cristiano's skills. Because otherwise, yes, there's no point on having the greatest player of all time if you put Bernardeschi falling down every single step,
tripping over himself.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem also because you know what Ronaldo's character is. If he doesn't win, he doesn't like it. If he doesn't score, he gets upset. and that's what made him a winner. Like we got to know him, but I believe we didn't deserve Ronaldo in the last 2 seasons. We showed that we were not able to give Ronaldo a proper team.
Yes. In terms of midfielders, definitely I agree with you. You know, we were very much reliant on Cuadrado on the right and his service, with very little coming from the left hand side or from midfield. You know, it was hard work. It was hard work. You know, Cuadrado has to be commended for the fact that, you know, we scored so many goals. You know, and he got so many assists. You know, and like he started off the season, a lot of people were abusing him online. Oh, Cuadrado is this, that. You know, I'd like to remind people sometimes you can get it very wrong, and a guy can he can prove himself, and you know, it's slightly embarrassing. You know,
and I can add that El Panita is one of the few new generation player that is actually representing kind of a flag, you know, kind of a senator player, like the various Del Piero and Trezeguet used to be. To me, it's a generation problem. No, in general, new players compared to the 90s. It's hard to see someone to play with the same team for 20 years like Buffon did, no?
yeah,
Quadrado, even though he's a new generation player, I have that feeling with him, and he became a senator, and
yeah.
you know, Panita should be like the saying Juventus. It should be a way of life, you know, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah. I agree. I've always had that feeling from Juan Cuadrado, and it's because he never stops running for Juventus. He never ever stops running.
Never.
You know, he tackles hard. He never stops running. He makes mistakes. Sometimes he dives, but his good qualities in the end kind of it works out in his favor for me. You know, but also you get the feeling that he'd play for Juventus for free. That he'd keep playing. You know, that's the feeling I get.
Another quality that I have and that he has is that he's a fighter, like you said, but always smiling. You know, and that's the characteristic that I really appreciate about him.
Yeah, 100%. Ronnie Khan is saying Bangladesh, India, and Pakistan have the most. I think he means Ronaldo fans. I'm not surprised. I think Ronaldo is loved everywhere. There's one problem to who Juve can sell him to. That's it. Some media are talking about a swap with Pogba. To me, it doesn't make any sense for neither Juventus or United because the Red Devils, I don't think they give the same value to the two players. That's why I keep believing in the fact that the swap will be done with Dybala. What do you think?
I think the swap will be made with Dybala. Probably, if he leaves, he's not gonna go to United. Like if Ronaldo leaves, because my idea they both leaving, Ronaldo and Dybala. Maybe I'm wrong. I think he goes to PSG.
Potentially.
He goes to PSG, which is just think to the post, the Instagram post where he was talking about records chasing him instead of the opposite way, no?
Yeah.
He mentioned all the great numbers in Italian Campionato, Spanish Liga, and English Premier League.
Yeah.
It's like closing cycles, no?
Yeah.
Probably the next record chasing him is gonna be the Ligue 1. and see if he can score 100 goals in Ligue 1 as well. Even though what I was hoping for when I read the post, I was hoping it to finish to end with okay, now I'm only missing. I already won the Champions League in England. I won the Champions League in Spain. I need to win the Champions League in Italy as well.
Yeah.
Close this cycle for real, Cristiano. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. It's not, who cares about League One? You've got to win the Champions League. You know, Mr. T is saying, sorry, I'll just get this.
No.
Mr. T, I have a feeling Rabiot McKennie can be real beasts under Allegri. As Mazzala, he made freaking Khedira look. He did, I'll be honest. He looked like Redondo. Fernando Redondo, if you remember that player.
Yeah,
he was a great player.
Fernando Redondo.
Yeah, that's the feeling I have as well, Mr. T. I think in a way the ideas we have from this season, we need to forget about them a little bit. You know, some guys it just doesn't make sense to keep. You know, one I'm going to talk about here, Aaron Ramsey. He just made a comment to some reporter. I think it's in Tudo Sport. He's saying he's going to be back next season, you know, and for me, he's a guy that needs to go. It just doesn't make sense for anyone. I don't think even Allegri can do anything about him. What's he got? I think he's made 19 appearances for Juventus this season. That's it. And he's either been. Pardon?
There's not much you can do.
There's not much you can do. He's in J Medical, like that's it. And somehow he's going to make it to play at the Euros with Wales. Jesus, like
that's something that really bothers me in general. Like I hate the idea of Chiellini playing for the Italian national team. You know, we've been dealing with their injuries for the whole season. We actually pay their salary, and then we risk to lose them for the beginning of the next season as well. No, I mean, come on. I understand how like a player wants to play for the national his own country, but at the same time we've been always talking about being a professional, the new soccer, the new way soccer is professionals. If you are a professional, you know that someone else is paying your salary, so sometimes you can avoid to go to just answer the call.
Yeah. Nero Ghost is saying, I was hoping for Zidane to take over just because he knows, and he's already done it with Ronaldo, but I still accept Allegri, of course. I feel the same. You know, this is kind of my question, really, but you know, I'm a huge Zidane fan. I've got Zidane on the back of this jersey, and I always have been. I think he's a great manager. I have some question marks about him. I don't see only the glory side of it, but you know, he's left Real Madrid now a couple of times and come back a couple of times and left again. So, you know, you have to question a guy like that when he's coming and going from a job just constantly. You know, I mean, it's different with Allegri. He was away for 2 years. He did nothing in between. It looks like he was, you know, he went with the good wishes of the club, and he's come back with the good wishes of the club, and it's, you know, everything is cool. But Zidane, I'd have to criticize his mentality a little bit. You know, he was petulant as a player, and maybe he's I don't know, maybe it's in the character of the guy, but I would have loved him to come. Now that Allegri's here, 150% behind him, and whatever he chooses, it doesn't matter. Juventus is number one. Whatever I think about players, it doesn't matter. Juventus is number one. Always.
For me, it was the opposite. For me, I was hoping Allegri, but Zinedine is always going to be welcome back in Juventus house.
100%. Nero Ghost again. She's saying, Zidane, imagine if Zidane goes to PSG and brings Ronaldo.
Possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah, it seems like Zidane maybe either the French job or you know, or it could be PSG, but of course PSG would have to sack Pochettino. So, but that could happen.
Remember that the last Champions League we won, Torricelli was playing left wing, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Famaxi is saying that's why Cristiano will say, because he has to close the circle, like we say in Italy. We've already covered that. He says, I can tell you for 100% Ramsey want to get back in the UK since last November, and I say that because my mother-in-law, she's a friend with his family, live in the same town, and also I had a couple of pints with a couple of his friends. So he found out there. Yeah, Wales is pretty close to Liverpool. I kind of know the proximity there. So,
in general, it's hard for a British player to get used to Italy. It's always hard.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I think it's about learning the language, really. I think that's one of the main things you can do when you go to a different country is to, you know, like you're going to someone else's country, you kind of need to make the effort, you know. I'm not sure if Ramsey did. I know the PR stunt when he joined, he said a couple of words, but I don't know. I haven't seen him do interviews since. So what can I say? Nero goes saying, trust me, it's not Zidane's fault, it's Perez. And Ronnie is saying good night. Good night, Ronnie. I've got one more thing I want to talk about. What was I going to say?
Ciao, Ronnie. Good night.
It's about Carlo Tavecchio. I'm going to show something here.
No way.
Yeah, Carlo Tavecchio. He's talking about the Superlega. He says, this competition is neither in heaven nor on earth, because football belongs to everyone. It's football of the people stuff. Speaking to Radio Punta Nova, Carlo Tavecchio distances himself from the project. I didn't know he had anything to do with it in the first place. But
they specify the color of the skin of the people, because you know Carlo Tavecchio is that kind of person that usually specify the color of the skin. No, just making sure you guys know who's talking.
Yeah. He says any sanctions against the founders would be sacrosanct. So on one side he's saying, okay, you shouldn't have any sanctions against the founders of the Super League, but then he continues to say, but I think there will be, you know, some of an economic nature, as UEFA cannot afford to keep Juventus, Barcelona and Real Madrid out of the Champions League. In any case, Chefrin will not be soft towards the presidents of the three clubs. If I had to decide, I would keep these three teams out of European competitions for a year, in addition to imposing a heavy financial penalty. So I can't make any sense of what he's saying there, because it sounds like
guys, Tavecchio doesn't make any sense. So Colin, stop trying to find a sense in it, because you're gonna get tired. Trust me. I mean, it's gonna be a long process, and you're never gonna get to the point. You know.
Yeah.
With Tavecchio is impossible. But can I tell you something?
Yes.
Jean-Louis Dupont. You know who he is?
Yes.
Hey, made
Giraudo's lawyer. Also,
man, big changes in UEFA and FIFA competition when
Bosman.
It was Bosman. It was this guy behind it. Huh? I think right now UEFA is afraid because if they get to the point, they're gonna be destroyed. They're going to crash on a wall, because there's no way they're gonna win on regular law basis.
Yeah.
Until we let them do what they want, we let them be a monopoly. They're gonna keep doing so. But
Yeah.
the real, they call us the rebels. They call it like the rebellion. They don't understand that the rebellion is not against the people; it's actually for the people. Because
Yeah.
right now, soccer could be at this level, and it's at this level instead. So the show that you're paying for is at this level. It is at this level because of these people that is stealing soccer from you guys. So don't
Yeah.
believe Tavecchio, which is a racist, which is just a racist speaking nonsense. Don't believe Tavecchio and think what the business is around in this topic. Think the amount of money that is UEFA is hiding without even saying us how much are the actual numbers.
Yeah. A guy who increases his salary. Sorry?
They're gonna crash, Colin. They're gonna crash on a wall if they keep going for this on this right direction.
You think UEFA is, they're going to, it's not going to work out in their favor? I don't believe it will anyway, because just looking at the track record of DuPont, I mean, if you look at the Man City case, Man City were being investigated now. They're by UEFA for fraud in relation to their sponsorships, that they had inflated the sponsorships incorrectly, and he held that case up for years.
But also,
He held it up.
But I believe it's way easier than this. I mean, we are happy that we have Jean-Louis Dupont, because we know that is the biggest expert in European law when it's about confronting a federation and a private, But the thing is that the thing is super easy. It's super easy. Watch Efferin, the propaganda, because that's propaganda, that's populism. The propaganda that Efferin started doing after the Super League release, the how you say that, the presentation.
Yes.
It was unbelievable, guys. It's unbelievable. That's something that a dictatorship would do. That's something that a dictatorship would do. And it's putting false informations on people's eye. Why? Because they don't want to lose their monopoly. That's the point. They don't want to lose their monopoly. And that's a very stupid thing from them. If you put yourself in UEFA's situation, instead of thinking, okay, it's true, it's time to change, the soccer world is changing, let's try to find our position in the new world. Instead, they're trying to fight the new world coming, because they want to keep it like it has been for forever.
Absolutely.
Think.
I agree. Like, I completely agree. I mean, you look at the playing numbers in soccer. How it is by far and away, in terms of population, the largest sport on the planet. There is no sport that has more people playing it than soccer, or football, whatever you call it. But how could they be not making money? How could it not be making money? And yet you've got this fool increasing his salary by a couple of million during the pandemic. They didn't give any relief to the clubs, to grassroots football, to clubs that are struggling. Even the big clubs, they did nothing whatsoever. And yet this fool is increasing his salary. Look, I mean, I could talk for days about this stuff. I just, it really annoys me. I mean, I do trust Perez. I mean, I trust him to a point that it isn't all about, greed for them. They need the money. Of course they need the money. Why do they need the money? Because like they're destroyed. They're not making enough. They should be making, it's like Ronaldo. Ronaldo's on 31 million net with Juventus. And some people would say he's making too much money, but he's not making too much money, guys. If he's earning 31 million net, how much money is he earning for Juventus, for Adidas, for the Champions League, for football in general, for people who are buying Nike football boots, for people who are paying pay-per-view to watch him in the Champions League, to watch him on DAZN, to watch him on whatever TV service you do, and people do like to pay specifically to watch Ronaldo. We're chatting to a few people here who are Ronaldo fans, and that's cool. And they watch football for Ronaldo. So how much money is he making for the whole football industry? So you have to say he's worth it. He deserves it. And if Real Madrid, Juventus, and Barcelona are creating enormous wealth for the whole football industry, then they deserve a serious cut of that money as well. And it's as simple as that. It's capitalism, that's what capitalism is.
And can I add something, Colin?
Yeah, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Just because what you said, I agree with what you said. But also, it's not that the cut the Juventus, Barcelona, Real Madrid are taking is cut to make the president richer. Because the presidents of this club are not there to get richer.
Yeah.
If they wanted a job to become rich, they would do something else. They're already rich. They're not thinking to the money. They're doing it for the team. They're doing it for the product of soccer in general. And most important is we don't know. We never knew. They were never clear. They never showed the numbers. We don't know how much money UEFA is doing with Barcelona signing Neymar, Messi, Pjanic, or whoever they're wasting the money for 200 years. Real Madrid, Butragueño, Ronaldo, Beckham, Los Galácticos, I can keep going for 200 years. Juventus, for 200 years, we have been wasting money, as you said, creating wealth for the world of soccer. And who gets all the revenue from Amazon and whoever is showing the copyright is UEFA. So guys, that's a dictatorship. That's what it is. Tyranny.
That's what it is. And for Maxi saying it here, I'm not worried about the sanctions. We live in a world of free market, and UEFA can't have the copyright to European competitions. I agree again. I can't stop agreeing here. It's good. George Zammit or Georg, how you doing, buddy? No law allows a monopoly, so the basis of defence that the clubs have is very good. It is, yeah, it is. And I'm pretty sure European law is going to back that up as well. Mr. T is saying, do you guys think we finally going to replace Alexandro? That guy has been terrible for so many years. Oh, what do you think about Alexandro?
Probably, but before you replace Alexandro, you need to find you need to find someone else. you know? Alexandro, unfortunately, even though I agree with you, is still one of the best left winger, left back there is around. It depends how he wants to play, because if Alexandro decides to play, the game is impossible, is unstoppable. I cannot speak today, guys.
I understand you. I get you. You're right. I mean, he nearly scored a hat-trick a few games, like about a month ago. He nearly scored a bloody hat-trick. So the man is capable if someone lights a fire under him.
Usually when he's close to an injury, and lately he has been injured a few times, when after he comes back from an injury, he's always confused. He looks always confused around the pitch, and he makes big mistakes. But then once he finds the shape, Alexandro can be, a beast. Yeah. I think he might have been overused for a while, just like Cuadrado was. But fortunately for Cuadrado,
he's an absolute beast. I mean, he's one of the fittest guys you'd ever come across. Guy will never stop running, play 90 minutes, and do it again in 3 days' time and have no issues whatsoever. But Sandro, it's not the same for him. Ronnie's saying, we're here at 2 o'clock at night. Although I'm getting a lot of sleep, I still have a lot of fun learning a lot of information. That's good. That's good. Always welcome. Steve was saying Zidane will suit himself as he always has. Ooh, a bit saucy there, Steve. PSG is a real option, and apparently Poch is in talks to go back to Spurs. I heard that as well. That would be a dramatic turnaround for Pochettino. Dramatic turnaround, and it seems, football is full of them at the moment. Mr. T again, the Super League was a good idea, but terrible format with no relegation. When teams like Spurs and Arsenal are there, who have no European or domestic pedigree, something is wrong. Kind of agree with you, especially with Spurs. It's in their history. So what was I going to say? It's been an hour and 6 minutes, guys. So I'm going to thank everybody for turning up. I'm going to thank my, special guest / partner and Enzo Maresca. Yeah, we'll thank Enzo Maresca 100%. And and we'll see you guys again soon. If you enjoyed the video, guys, remember to like and sub on YouTube if you haven't already, and share it. Really would help us out a lot. So thanks very much, guys.
Tomorrow, join us for the Stripe show, by the way. Me and Colin will be there pretty much at this time, 1 hour later. 1 hour later. Yeah.
We've got the great Mirko Di Natale on with us, and it's a great opportunity for you guys to ask questions. Mirko is very, very good. He's very honest. He always answers questions. And yeah.
He knows a lot about Mercato. If you have questions about Mercato, write them down and come tomorrow. Okay.
Excellent. Just quickly, George is saying, put a like before you leave. That's a great policy. Yeah, you're not allowed to go unless you give the like. So with that, I'm going to say good night, guys. It's been great, and we'll see you again soon. Ciao.
Forza Juve.